Has West Ham's terrible striker signing strike rate struck you yet? This is a list of every recognised traditional number 9 that West Ham have signed or loaned in the last 10 years for more than €2 million. Of the 15 players listed, they were only able to get a return of 118 goals after spending more than €250 million on out-and-out strikers in the past 10 years. Paying over €2 million per goal is not the return that a club with West Ham's budget are looking for. Who's the pick of a bad bunch? It's pretty comfortably Marko Arnautovic. After signing from Stoke, he was a real danger leading the line, and he won Player of the Year in his first season at the club, but he was not an easy figure to handle in the dressing room. There were rumours of him wanting to leave the club for a big money move to China only 18 months after joining West Ham. He seemingly put those rumours to bed by signing a new contract which made him one of the club's top earners that January. He still kicked up a fuss remarkably quickly despite this lucrative new deal, forcing his way out of the club to China, the original Saudi Arabia, for a modest profit of €2 million the following summer, ending his time at West Ham after only 2 years and only 6 months after signing a new contract. Or you could choose Diafra Sakho, who had an extremely promising start to his West Ham career. He scored in each of his first 6 league starts, equalling a Premier League record. His time at the club was then derailed by a series of injuries, however, causing him to never regain that kind of form again for the Hammers. He was seemingly happy to get out of town when he left in the January transfer window of the 2017-18 season, as he left his £200,000 Lamborghini abandoned in the club parking lot upon his departure. Those are your best of the lot. A good player who forced his way out for money, despite signing a new contract, and one who had a hot start but fizzled out and left on a free transfer after less than 4 years. The failures, however, are much more plentiful. Danny Ings is a transfer that seemed doomed from the start, with an astronomical wage of $125k a week, no resale value thanks to his age, and no real goal-scoring return to speak of. He's being let go on a free transfer this summer after an abject spell at the club. I think that in general discussions about recent bad Premier League signings, Ings gets overlooked because he doesn't come with the huge transfer fee of a player like Antony or Mudryk, but Ings' wages were a serious outlay for West Ham, and they can't afford to have a player on that kind of money contributing in the manner that he did. Fulkrug is going to have a similar issue with resale value thanks to his age, so he needs to start producing in order to avoid being a similar story to Danny Ings, but with a much bigger transfer fee. Chicharito was a poor stylistic fit who never found any real form in his time at the club. Their attempts to sign younger players didn't have much success either, with Haller, Scamacca, and perhaps the most puzzling signing on the list, Jordan Hugill, all failing to impress. In fact, it gets even better. This is post-production discordant football here. I was editing this video trying to provide some visual stimulation for you folks when I found this article from 8 years ago bemoaning West Ham's failure to buy strikers for the last 7 years. That makes a grand total of 15 beautiful years of striker failures. When I started this section, I chose 10 years as a nice round number for my cutoff point. I had, while researching the video, clicked back 1 extra year and seen them signing a post-Liverpool Andy Carroll for a whopping £15 million. But I wanted to be as honest as I could and not cherry pick a random extra year just because it had another bad signing. Little did I know there was no cherry picking involved, and I could have widened the scope even further and made West Ham look even worse. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh man, I don't know this one. Damn my streak. Oh. Okay, nice. Anyway, now I'm going to slide 2 more names into the list. These are players who were signed in the time period outlined and have also played up front for West Ham. What makes them stand out is that they were actually signed as wingers. Jared Bowen and Mikel Antonio. They have more goals in less appearances than all of the attempted striker signings combined. This is despite playing a large portion of their games out wide. These two have been more impactful up front for West Ham in the last 10 years than any player that they actually signed to play there, while also being able to contribute in other areas of the pitch. Really, I'm being generous to West Ham here, as I could have easily extracted the best striker from my original list, Arnautovic, and grouped him in here with Antonio and Bowen. Arnautovic started his first 11 games for the Hammers out wide, but he finished his first season at the club with more appearances up front than out wide, so I decided to show some mercy and allow him to be categorised as a striker. It's a very interesting trend though, that over the past 15 years, all of West Ham's best strikers have arguably been more natural wingers who have the versatility to also play up top. West Ham's struggles show just how hard it is to identify and sign a good striker for your team. Or maybe they show how strikers are the most overrated position in football. Hey, someone might have to make a video on that